All units, level 4 mobilization. Location, Fisk Tower.
What's up guys, your favorite YouTuber that's definitely a clone of Scrubby, back again with another video, and today I'm doing something that's very different from my channel, and I'm going to be talking about my favorite game of all time, Spider-Man PS4. Some people say it's a good game, some people say it's a great game, some people say it's the best Spider-Man game ever since Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies, and the latter one is of course the one I agree with. And you may wonder why. But in this very, very probably long video, I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see video. I'll be explaining why I love this game and a few flaws. To get this out of the way, it's just my opinion. You don't have to have it. And if you really hate this game, or you just think it's a mess Spider-Man game, then I'm okay with you saying that. But in my complete opinion, I love this game, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. Now, ever since I was very little, I loved Spider-Man. Literally ever since I was an infant. I guess what attracted me was his colorful, vibrant colors. And at the time, in 2014, the movie Amazing Spider-Man 2, which in retrospect was kind of a terrible movie, came out. So, of course, that's one of the movies that got me into Spider-Man. But really, I kind of wish nowadays it didn't exist, because the Sam Raimi movies, even the third one, you know, the cheesy third one, is superior than the second and the first one, because that movie's just bland. And with that rant out of the way, also, I respect anyone's opinions. If you like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies, I don't care. You can go and like them. I just don't like them in my personal opinion, of course. Now, the first thing you do is it introduces you to Peter Parker. And you figure out that he is kind of going through a rough time because his room's a little messy. He has a lot of sticky notes, and I think you can see that he kind of puts off paying his bills because he's a little broke. But you find out that, of course, he loves being Spider-Man more than anything else. But it's not just for fun. It's for responsibility, and he has to go and stop Wilson Fisk from breaking out crime. Now, the only gripe I have with it is that you can, after a while, the gameplay gets pretty easy if you play it like a second time. The second time a row, the attacks are pretty predictable, and the robots are pretty easy after a while. Of course, I'm not using the gameplay because I would have probably not even taken any damage. I'm using it from someone else. Sorry if I don't give credit. I may not remember the name of your channel. I'm really sorry. Please take this as a note of forgiveness, and whoever made any of these gameplay videos, shout out to you. But Spider-Man PS4 is clearly based around three main villains. Should I say three groups of main villains? The first group is Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, which you're seeing Spider-Man fight right now on the screen. And he is a pretty easy boss fight, all things considered. but he's kind of a reoccurring villain even though he's in jail for most of the game. His men, you get to fight as extra stuff to get base tokens, and it's pretty cool to just get that, and you can unlock new suits with these base tokens, and yeah, that's basically all Wilson Fisk serves in the story. And then we have Martin Lee, who acts suspicious for the whole game. And the plot twist is the baby is a bit predictable, but because he's like, I'm quote unquote out of town, which is everything a Spider-Man villain will say, and he gives me Norman Osborn flashbacks back when I watched Spider-Man 2002 from Sam Raimi. And the final group is Docky Octopus, aka Dr. Octopus, aka Doc Ock. Anyways, Dr. Octopus, I don't want to give away too much since I still want you guys to play the game to an extent, but I'm still going to be talking about spoilers. But of course, he's going to turn into Dr. Octopus. I mean, if you know anything about Spider-Man, you'll know that he's going to turn into Dr. Octopus. But it makes it so you don't want him to turn into Dr. Octopus. And I think they put a good turn on it, that if I ever was a writer for a story with Doc Ock in it, I'd probably use, because usually it's just him being an idol to Peter. But now he has a personal connection, like he works for him, and they're kind of like friends in a way. He's kind of an actual, like, real life idol he knows. Kind of like how Pete is to Miles. And I really like that dynamic because it gives it a bitter connection, and makes me actually sad when he dies at the end. He doesn't actually die at the end. I don't know what I'm gibbering about. He goes to jail, but it's sad. It's actually sad because he also, I think, suffered from a disorder that made it so he couldn't, like, I think it was like his motor skills were a little off, and then it got worse and worse every day. Or something like that with time, and it made it like one of the actual sympathetic villains, and it's not really like the dynamic that they were trying to go with Sandman, where I didn't even really feel too sad about it, to be honest, completely. And I'm sorry to all your Raimi shills, I'm one too, but I didn't feel really bad for him, because I mean, there's a lot of ways you can make money. I mean, yeah, I think you should have turned into a life crime, but I don't really feel too sad for you. And I think it's just because the whole rest of the movie is just terrible. No offense to Sam Raimi. He even hates the movie, so I don't even know who I'm offending. Maybe some really, really intense Raimi shills. I don't know. Next thing you know, you go and defeat, Wilson Fisk, and you send him off to jail. But that doesn't mean it's the end of the story, obviously. That means there's more to do, and that means you have to swing across the city. But I think the boss was still kind of weak. But also, I didn't really like the that you have a damage suit after you beat him, because the damage suit should look kind of like what it did at the end of Spider-Man, because it just kind of looks like the classic suit, just with rips and tears and like some particles on it that make it look old. That's all really. But I think that once you go and swing around the city, and then you go in to meet Dr. Octavius, you're like, oh shoot, he's gonna go turn into Dr. Octopus. This isn't the game's fault. This is just nerd logic. But it's not. But once you get deeper into the game, you feel more sad. So at first it's like, oh yeah, I don't really care about this guy because I know what he's gonna turn into. But then you see more chemistry between Peter and him, and you think, man, those guys are really good friends. I wish they could stay friends, but it has to end somehow, and it did end for sure, like crazy. But let's just all take a second, and with no humor, let's just say, for example, this was your first Spider-Man game, and you for example thought that you didn't know that it was Doc Ock, like, then I'm really glad that you got to experience this. And for example, I'm very grateful for this game because this game introduced me to, introduced my sister to Spider-Man for the first time. Now she has seen bits and clips of the old Sam Raimi movies, but only like the final battles or so. And and she tried the game out, and then I guess her favorite Spider-Man villain is the Shocker, but anyways, it introduced my sister to, well, Spider-Man, and luckily I showed her the first two Spider-Man movies, and she seems to enjoy it. But you know, this also comes with a little bit of confusion, since for example, let's just say you didn't see the after credit scene. I'd have to tell you the after credit scene. You can't go back and watch the after credit scene. I wish there was an option where you can just be like, alright, the game's over, now I can watch the after credit scene again. Because from what I've seen, there is no option to go back and watch that after credit scene. Because it has a large info dump. You get teased, literally Venom. You get teased a Green Goblin, all in one little after credit scene. Take a look.
Well, I'm not an expert or anything, but I think it's in the way that you ask her.
I'm getting too nervous. Hey, all right, so where do you want this?
Right over here's fine.
All right. Hey, so Pete?
Yeah.
I, kinda gotta talk to you about something I can't tell my mom about.
What's up?
Well, weird things have been going on. Like, physically.
Oh. Oh. Well, you know, you're at that age where your body starts to change. And so you may be noticing some areas,
No.
for example.
Not that. I think it's better that I just, I show you.
No.
It's pretty weird, right?
Not that weird.
We were so close. But I'll keep trying. I will find a cure. I will. I love you, son.
Also, speaking of story, let me just tell you the most spoilers that you'll ever hear my mouth in this episode. Now, if you don't want to hear the spoilers for the complete ending, I'll be using footage from the ending while talking about the spoilers of the ending. So that means you're probably going to click off in like a few seconds. In like 3, 2, 1, goodbye, please. Because we're about to show off a new suit. You don't want to see it. Now, I don't really like the suit. I like my Spider-Man red and blue suit more than the black and yellow, but I think it still looks really cool, and I'm not going to go in a rant about it. The thing I am going to go in a rant about is this ending. This ending is so beautiful. And it compiles all the stuff we know and love from Spider-Man all together. His sacrifices, when he sacrifices Aunt May for the whole world, and Aunt May willingly sacrifices herself, just showing that she is responsible and loves Pete just like he does to her, but she wants to help with mankind too. But also, the final boss, sadly, is a little underwhelming. It's the opposite for the story, but the gameplay itself is pretty easy, and I defeated it after like 3 tries. And the second time I played it, 1 try. So you can say either I'm just good at the game, or this is an underwhelming boss fight. But I don't want to go too in depth with the story, but I'll leave you at this. It also compiles some of the best stuff that was conflicting at the beginning. It all compiles into one great ending. So, for example, Dr. Octavius and Mr. Norman Osborn, aka Donald Trump, is having a conflicting war. It shows that he's the one with physical power, but isn't very, like, doesn't have power with the people. Not a lot of people know about Dr. Octavius, and most of them hate him. But Mr. Donald Trump over here, everybody knows him and either hates him or loves him. So it's like conflicting sides at the end. But it shows that he's helpless and he's just another human being. And even if you hate him, you can't kill him, and you can't do anything about it. And that means that you can't be too extreme with anything, really. And the final battle at the end is really sad. And sadly, I gave you your chance. Now I'm going to show the really sad ending that made me cry. Here we go.
Peter, I saw you as a son. I should have known you'd turn on me, just like all the others.
Turn. I've worshipped you. Your mind, your conscience, wanting to help others. The way you never gave up.
That's because men like us have a duty, a responsibility, to use our talents in the service of others. Even if they don't appreciate it, we have to do what's best for those beneath us, whether they understand it or not.
No, you're wrong. You are everything I wanted to be. You just threw it away.
Yes, of course. You're right, Peter. Oh, I see that now. The neural interface affected my mind. But I can fix it. We can fix it together. If you'll help me.
Do everything I can. I'll make sure you get the best help.
No! If they put me away, they'll take my arms. I'll be trapped in this useless body. Please, Peter. That wasn't me. You said you'd never abandon me. You promised. Remember? And of course, you rest easy, knowing your secret is safe with me.
You do what you think is best, Doc. It's all any of us can.
Peter?
Even when it hurts like hell.
Peter, where are you going? Peter! Peter!
It's still viable. We'll need the entire sample as a base to produce more doses.
How long will that take?
A few hours. Maybe a day.
What if we use it to cure someone right now?
Then there won't be enough to cure the others. I'll give you a few minutes.
You're gonna be okay, ma'am. I've got the cure right here.
Take off your mask. I want to see my nephew.
You knew?
I've known for a while.
I never wanted you to worry.
I did. And I am so proud of you. And Ben will be too. All the people you've saved.
I don't know what to do.
Yes, you do.
Sorry for the little humorous thing after the emotional scene, but there's also the scene where that's pretty cool, where you get to meet a fan. Actually, it's a side mission where you get to meet a fan who's kind of impostering as you, and yeah.
And we are not the same person. You stole my heart of gold.
looks like I'm conveniently enough, in my room again. I don't know how that happened. It wasn't just like I was in the middle of Spider-Man PS4 gameplay. Anywho, oh shoot, I have to review Spider-Man Miles Morales. Uh-oh. Buckle up.